Thank you everyone for joining on this Sunday morning. Happy to see you all. I'll be very much happy if you all can on your videos. And let us start with our invocation followed by ma'am's introduction. Vivito, start with you.
This is who we are. We are a team. Talented, energetic, astonishing mindsets. We can do anything and everything. We talk, we care, we respect each other. We see beauty in everything. We are connected by hearts and driven by values. We celebrate each other. We provide value to others. We take ownership in everything. We have freedom to make mistakes. We learn as we go. We are mad to make a difference. We love disruptive ideas. We make impossible things possible. We are strong to question the creation. We believe in dreaming big. If we do not dare to dream big, are we really living? Why be ordinary when we can be extraordinary? This is who we are. By Shivani Shirsagar. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivita. Before that, thank you, Sajid sir and Badal sir for joining us. Apurva?
Good morning, everyone. Good evening, Shravan sir. Let me give you a brief intro about Aruna ma'am. Ma'am has completed her bachelor's in chemical engineering at Osmania University and has done MSc and PhD from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And she has an experience of 26 years in professional career. She is a technical lead globally in the respective subject as an SME, which is subject matter expert for refinery upstream units and refinery petrochemical integration projects, and can drive the project individually and as a group leader at the national and international level. Ma'am also executed both domestic and overseas projects. Ma'am has executed projects in remote areas like Assam, Uran, Barmer, and worked in downgrading plant capacity during revamp. Ma'am is team leader for various tough projects like Brahmaputra Polymers and Chemicals Limited, COTC. Conceptualization, recognized as a SME in the area of refinery upstream, midstream and downstream, and HSE. Ma'am has published several articles in international and national journals, presented papers in several national and international conferences during research at Indian Institute of Science. Madam has a patent granted in aromatic removal of hydrocarbons by liquid phase adsorption on activated carbon. Ma'am has also been awarded with many awards like Research Associateship by CSIR during PhD, and was awarded Advanced Diploma in German for Max Muller Bhavan from Max Muller Bhavan in Hyderabad, topping in spoken German, and won several prizes in essay writing competitions, debates, and ma'am is a AIMA certified trainer. Thank you. It's my pleasure to give a beautiful intro about Aruna ma'am.
Apurva, thank you so much for your introduction. Sorry, I think let me just continue.
Yes. Thank you, Apurva. This is what we know, on a literature paper. We want to know about you from yourself. We want to listen to you about you from your end, ma'am.
Apurva, the way you have introduced me, I was just wondering, is it me or are you introducing somebody else? I was just wondering, no, is it me? Because I even forgot some of the things that you have introduced that I've done all these. But thank you very much for the lovely, fantastic introduction. And it's so nice to see young, bright faces, on a Sunday morning. I thought all of you, studying from home and all that. Sunday, if you wake up late also, it's okay. So but I never expected such young, bright, smiley girls all over. How many of you are there?
36, including you. All
girls are there. What's the ratio?
Sunday
girls are there in the class.
They
Now
have
I'm asking you that.
talk by one of the eminent people. So आज के talk
Yeah. How many girls are there in the class?
Probably 28, maybe 26, 28.
In a class of 60
30
years.
out of 36 here. Here there are 36 people attending the session right now, and I think there are about 26 of them are
No,
girls.
the class, I just wanted to know the class.
Oh, class, I think it's 60% girls.
60% girls, huh? Fantastic, yeah. We were just 4 in a class of 60. Badal's class, there were 3 in a class of 60. Okay, so that was the scenario those days. And lot of people, chemical engineering means people had a lot of misconception. They used to think chemical engineering is chemistry, and other branches of engineering used to look down upon chemical engineering. But we were very proud. That's why maybe we had a separate college for ourselves, so that we are not, we don't have the negative influence of other branches of engineering. And we were very happy. And those days our college was a very different place. I'm sure, Badal, you also agree with me on that. So,
Sure.
yeah, we were so
Yeah, and I totally support your view that we were proud that we had a separate college for the chemical engineering branch.
So that what we are not negatively influenced by those people, Then actually, if you come to know, chemical engineering has maximum maths compared to other branches of engineering. And I'll disclose something very interesting to you. Most of the Nobel Prize winners in mathematics are chemical engineers. So if somebody tries to demean or belittle you, you can just shoot back with this statement saying that chemical engineering is a branch, it's a misunderstood branch, it's a branch full of mathematicians, and most of the people, most of the Nobel Prize winners in maths are all chemical, most of them are chemical engineers. So that gives you some encouragement. Okay.
Not some.
Okay. Then the other day, same like you people, there's a college in Bangalore. They asked me for a motivation talk 3-4 days back. And I said, why all these motivation talks I'm doing? I can tell you one small example. I was also a member of the recruitment process. Okay. And each branch has one identified person. Of course, they don't just do with one because we go to nook and corner of India and all that. So 3-4 people are identified from our department, from electrical, civil, mechanical and all that. It was very interesting once, this was not too long ago, about 7-8 years back, when I went for interview in NIT Warangal. One girl was exceptionally good. Exceptionally very, very good. So she was first in my list. Next there was another boy who was equally good, but one whisker, maybe 0.1% less than her. Then HR said there's a policy, she can come through that recruitment also. So this boy doesn't have that opportunity, so you take this boy. I even had an argument with HR, what is this? This girl is so good, how can I leave her? He said, I'll assure you she will come from that recruitment, right? So she will not miss the chance. I said, fine. Then other colleagues have finished. Generally what we do is other colleagues finish. We allow them to sit just to see how the students are and how our interaction goes. Why I'm giving this introduction is so that then that girl was very innocent, just in college. Then she said, ma'am, my uncle told me not to appear for this interview. I said, why? Then he said, in such big companies, they don't take girls. Then my other colleagues were there. They were all male colleagues. They started laughing. Then what is madam doing? So I told her, at that time I think I was about 20 plus years in Yale. So she said 20 years back she joined here. So that means she was so innocent. Like my uncle told me not to appear for interview because they're not taking girls. So then they said, see, she has so many years ago. She's also a woman, no? Poor thing, she didn't even realize that. Okay. I said, see, you are really, really good, but you have a chance to come back to Yale. So that is just a month and a half away. So that's the only reason why I'm not taking you, not for any girls, nothing like that. You are too good. In fact, you top my list. You are my first preference. But this is the reason, but you have a chance in this recruitment drive where the other boy does not. And I want both of you. She was still not convinced. She thought, what is there? These people, they're senior people, they come talk anything and go off. Only we know what we are going through and all that. But after 1.5 months, she was selected. She came to me only. I said, now you're convinced, see, there are girls here. Okay. And let me tell you, see, there are other industries where the work is a little lighter. Oil and gas is a different ball game. There's a lot of toughness associated with it. at least the owner-based companies, they are going to technical services. But when you're in a consultancy, you have to visit the client, you have to visit the plant, and most of at least the refineries are situated at a slightly better location. But if it's the installation, and even in places like Assam and all that, if you go, even the refineries are situated in such a way, except Guwahati refinery, you have to travel at least 5 to 6 hours on road. Like your whole day goes for a toss. When you're going for even a one-day meeting, 2 days goes off in travel. And at that time when I started Assam projects, there were no mobiles and there was no way to communicate. All the way from Sibsagar, I used to go to Dibrugarh. That was almost 3.5 hours by road. And Assam, though, they are very, very good at laying, asphalting, very good quality. But because of the rains, the roads get damaged within very short time. So then you go to Dibrugarh to find that fellow. Those days there was Air Sahara and only Air India, these two. And Air India 12, if the flight would leave to Kolkata, we never had that any other connecting flight. And Sahara, there was one flight coming from Delhi at 2:30 and 3:30 it used to leave. And if it doesn't leave at 3:30, Assam, the flight is cancelled because it's a valley. It gets very dark by 4:30. So because of that, there's no landing or takeoff due to safety reasons. Nothing more than that. Huh, Badal? You have anything to add?
Just to inform you, I have worked all my life in ONGC.
How come we didn't meet that?
And I was staying in Nazira.
My God, Nazira was one place I would have made at least.
That's the reason I put on my video when you started talking about Assam.
Yeah.
Another thing which I want to reveal is that my wife is also a chemical engineer, also worked for 36 years in ONGC. And to say that girls are not accepted in the industry is not true, so far as recruitment is concerned.
That's what I said. Don't see, that girl was so innocent. Her uncle told her something, and she literally believed. That's what I said. Very few people have exposure to oil and gas industry. So that's why when she made that very innocent statements, immediately my colleague, just to make her mood lighter, my ma'am is not a woman of what? She was so shy, I thought of immediately, she was a little taken aback also. So she did get into that, and then, and I have done projects with Rudhasagar, Gelki and all that, Badal, all my life, I have done, and then Uran projects, Hazira, you name it, then all the installations of Mehsana, Ahmedabad asset, Ankleshwar asset. Don't ask me how many projects of ONGC.
Yes, I have stayed in Ahmedabad as well.
Okay, how come we didn't run into each other here? I'm very disappointed because I would have been too happy. Only once, at the fag end of GGS Rudhasagar, I met Satyapal. He was in operations.
Yeah, he was with me also.
Okay, so I just met Satyapal, but I said, Satyapal, for this project, this is my last trip. I wish we had run. I think he just got transferred. Assam is like Rajya Sabha.
I know.
Okay, every 3 years, the team gets changed.
Yeah.
So Badal's first year would have been first and second. First year, they take time to know. Badal, no offense meant. This is a fact.
It's true, absolutely. Because nobody wants to go there, so it's compulsory for everybody to
So
go.
now what happens when we used to start a project, first year one person used to be in charge. Then it would have taken him 2-3 months to get accustomed to the project, to get into the nitty-gritties. Then the support he used to give. Second year was okay. Third year, even they are also worried about which is going to be their next posting. So then they say, you don't come, we will come to Delhi because we have to go to our office. So third year, at the fag end of third year, I never used to get the people whom I was interacting for almost 18 to 20 months.
Right.
So these are other hardships, these are something undisclosed hardships. Because Badal is here, I can frankly have a talk with him. So then most of the installations are far away. It takes almost, and regarding travel, I'm sure you appreciate, you would have had similar difficulties traveling.
Yeah, of course. I have a back problem traveling in the jeeps for 20 years on dust roads.
Yeah, the Dibrugarh to Sibsagar, to
in Ahmedabad as well. I used to travel every day from Nazira to Lakwa in Assam.
I have done Lakwa also, the
And in Ahmedabad also those dust roads, driving through the Kalol oil fields and all. I was working in field all the time.
Okay. So then another this thing was when were doing Brahmaputra project, we were having gas from two sources. One was from Gail Lakwa and one was from Duliajan. So Duliajan, then Duliajan was sending to Lapet Kata. So Lapet Kata, one colleague was handling because Lapet Kata is only 15 kilometers from Dibrugarh. And we used to stay at Dibrugarh and go to Lapet Kata. But Lakwa was not like that. From Dibrugarh another 2.5 hours.
Yes, Lakwa is.
Yeah. Then Lakwa had another problem. If you have seen the Gale installation, Badal,
yes, I have.
Apart from their guest house and the plant, 2 kilometers radius, there was not a single hutment also over there. So one day my vehicle dropped me and it went somewhere. It was 5:30, 6, and Assam 6 is like midnight in other places. 6 o'clock, they were leaving. They said, how will you stay alone? Then I was sitting, because plant they don't allow after 6. So I was sitting, there was a nice stone bench, like I was sitting outside. They said, you come with us by our vehicle. I said, I will not. If the car fellow comes, then by the time we had mobile, so mobile signals, you can't reach out. If he's searching for me, I'm searching for him. Where do we go? The whole night we'll be spending searching for each other. And they said, Madam, idhar kuch bhi nahi hai. And in Assam, you have snake problems, you have elephant problems. And in the ONGC guest house in Nazira Badal, I slept with so many species, this big cockroaches, spiders. Okay, no, I'm not scaring you. No, these are all mentally challenging. It's not only physically challenging, you know. Beautiful guest house, thick set of forests. All Northeast has this problem. They have, because of the forest, you have spiders, cockroaches, chameleons, lizards, all these things. So mosquito nest is a compulsory, not just for mosquitoes, for the other species you have to protect yourself from. And in the middle of the night, if you have to use a washroom, I used to get scared to get up from the bed because I don't know what I'll be stepping on. Then you have other problems. Let me come to that. The water table in Assam has the best quality river water when we do analysis for any something. But when you have to use groundwater, it is full of ferrous. So the pumps and all that, the valves and all would get coated with red color mud, very fine dust. And when you open the tap of the sink, like a horror movie, you'll find red color water coming. Okay. Badal, have you stayed in the guest house in Nazira?
So, yes, I have stayed in the guest house, but mostly I was staying in the Nazira ONGC colony.
I've seen,
I stayed in the guest house for a very short period. In fact, I would say that there engineers, some people, there are some people who don't even get to stay. I mean, it's some kind of work, especially those who are involved in exploration work, the exploration teams, they have to stay in tents. They don't even have pakka houses for staying because they have to work in remote areas where they do not have pakka houses. So they have to stay in tents. And for those people who are staying in tents, this problem of insects and snakes, that is huge. And sometimes for them, I mean, it's not sometimes, for those people, the life is very, very tough.
Exactly. So then later, what happened? I mean, like, see, these are all the hardships. Now, today, you cannot say that these are the perks you get along with your job. You have to mentally accept all these things, you know. You can't say, my God, there's a spider in my room. I can't travel. I see a big cockroach, which is almost as big as my hand. I'm not going, no. These are, because the geographical nature is like that. If you see Northeast, it is so beautiful. But people only when you are clean bowled by the beauty of the Northeast. But these are the problems associated, but they are a part of life, you know. You can't say that, okay, I can't, you can't shirk away from that. Because I found these projects, which a lot of people did not want to do. I did, and I got a lot of laurels from those projects because I made it work. Badal, you not believe, you know, we commissioned GGS1 and GGS2, which ONGC thought we have to pinch ourselves to believe that was the first structured projects, you know, otherwise you yourself know it, you know, how things were, nobody would want to come there. Like here as an organization have accepted the challenge. Otherwise one fellow would put one vessel, one fellow would put one pipe, one fellow would put a tank. There were no structured there was no information on any of the P&I. They said you have to do that generation yourself. So whole line, the piping routes and all, we used to go to the site, look at all these things, especially Gelki and all that, no? The grass was almost, it used to come to my waist length.
And regular elephants coming.
Exactly. And first, that was the first time we changed the flare, which was elevated flare because of the elephant problem, no? We changed the flare from elevated flare to ground flare. And that was the first time we were designing ground flare. We actually implemented in all the projects. Gelki, we did all the compressor jobs, no? Then compressor replacement, then compressors, then and heater treater was the first equipment we put it in Northeast, and one HP compressor in Gelki. That was the first time such a big compressor of that capacity and of that pressure was put in ONGC installation. And we were all so remote. Nazira, Sibsagar is a smaller town. Nazira is 17 kilometers from Sibsagar, and Gelki is another 17 kilometers from Nazira on the Nagaland border side. And Nagaland, there's a lot of insurgency and all. So people, when we used to come back, in fact, they used to tell us, go off at 4:30, go off at 5, but we had so many things to do, no? We used to take a torch, and that was a Madam Waha sound fair. I don't care, I need to check the piping route because I have to make a P&I. There was no P&I available, no back-end information from them. So these were the challenges, So that's what I tell you. Don't think, oh, I'm a woman, how can I do all that? You are a person, you are not a woman. You forget this thing. And then we used to make the drawings, take approval from them, design the plant, and we actually made it work. That was the first project in ONGC with a structured, it was done in a structured manner. Everything, it is structured in this thing. Though I'm only from the design side. I have support from all my engineering groups, like my civil structures, general civil, which will take place of this of the basic this thing of construction, structures for all the structures, and it's a tectonic zone, Assam. It's very prone to earthquakes and all that. So you need to have a foundation. So we had seismic tests and all those things on that. Then the mechanical, the rotating equipment, and another problem with Assam is almost 4 to 5 months of the year you're cut off because of the rains. You can't transport material. Then plus the local problem also is there, because the local contractors want the localites to have the other kind of jobs and all that, during construction phase and all that. Then apart from that, we have done safety studies, that is HAZOP and all that. No, they said, my God, the first time we are doing such a kind of thing in Assam. I mean, the project had gone so smoothly right from the conceptualization to commissioning, and to this day it has been, I'm in touch with the people who tell me that it's been going on very well and very smoothly. So that was one part. Then, I'm talking about the Assam project. Then there's another place called Numaligarh, which is almost 2.5 hours from Jorhat. And that road is very bad, Badal. If you think the Dibrugarh Sibsagar road is bad, Lakwa and all that. If you see the Jorhat to Numaligarh road, it is, if your back is intact after all that, that means you're made up of real iron kind of bones, okay. Then there we have executed the first indigenous wax plant was set up in Numaligarh, which is designed by EIL, and initial experiments and all that. It's a very, it's a physical process, where first we remove the oil from the wax. The wax, it has to be done at low temperature. There are certain injection points, the temperature and the injection point are so critical. One way this side or that side, even the oil will get solidified instead of only the wax. So again, that also we commissioned, and that project got a national award. Prime Minister gave a special commendation because there is a licensed unit in, now they call it this one, IOCL Chennai. Earlier they used to call it CPCL. And then there used to be one at Digboy. Digboy plant was shut. Then there was one more plant at Haldia, but that is being run at a very, very low capacity, which is as good as not there. So now So these are the challenging projects. Tomorrow, when somebody puts you in a project which others reject, take it up, grab it. In fact, that is where your future is. If others have rejected, they didn't see the what is, I mean, like, see, when you dig gold, first you see only mud. Okay. Only then you'll find gold. So that is where you should identify whether you want gold or mud. What superficially looks good may not be that good. But what superficially may look a little murky. There were some projects which some of my colleagues refused to touch with a barge pole. I took them up and I made them work. That's where everybody starts respecting you for the challenges that you have taken, you know.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we all have just like we are just traveling with you along to the northern states. Yes. I think I am proud to state to address you as a brave person rather than a brave girl.
No brain or anything, you know, it is just, see, you have to, when it's your job. And another thing, you know, when you compare yourself with all your IT colleagues, you know, they will be going to US, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia. Suppose you by chance happen to take a house along with them initially as bachelor girls, you might, then your IT colleague will talk about her exotic trip to Singapore or Malaysia or Canada or US. You think, what is this? I'm going to all these, I'm going to Assam, I'm going to some remote place like Gandhar and all. Where are you people? They're coming, they're going to US. No, you know what? At the initial stages, let them honestly tell you what they're doing there. You are doing something there. Can you believe sometimes they go and make a Word file or an Excel sheet for the client on how to do a data mining? Ask them what their work is. They will only talk about their expert. Oh, you know, we went to US. Then after some 3-4 days of work, company took us here, there. I saw this. I saw Niagara Falls there. Or I went to California. I saw this. Or I went to Florida. I went and saw the beach. I mean, then you will say, what? In Assam, I went and saw an ONGC plant smelling of oil and gas and nothing else. And unfortunately, you know, installations, they cannot do the kind of housekeeping a refinery does, because the kind of work is like that. So you have to be very careful. It is not as, it cannot, I mean, there are certain limitations over there. Okay. So then you'll say, hi, what did I get into? Why? But you don't know. You are doing something much more technical one. Then, okay, it's not, I'm not belittling the job. Maybe after a few years of seniority, but you will get it at the starting of the career, what they would have got after 5 or 6 years into their, this one. And never shirk, don't come with, suppose your boss delegates you some work, unless there's a very, very genuine problem. Do not come with problems. No boss would like anybody coming with problems. Come with solutions. Like, see, consultancy is a very harsh job. Like, there are days when I used to leave office at 1:32, same for one ONGC job. If Badal is there, I can tell him, till the contractor who was hired was so, he was not very good. So myself and another person from ONGC, till 2:30 in the night we slept, because the next day those documents had to go. We sat in the office, it was in Mumbai, 2:30 we came out of office. Morning at 8:30 I went. So this is not the first. I have gone to a lot of, means these are all your men, it's not me. I should say anybody should do it, because it is not a 9-to-5 job. It's not this thing. A job is a job, you know, which is when you are committed to it. Like, suppose there's a house, when you look after your parents or they looked after you, it was a commitment from both sides, right? So even the job is like that. It is a commitment. You have to do it. Fine, lot of people say once you are retired or once you are this thing, nobody will look at your face. No, that is not there. As long as you are there, if you are being, if you give your heart and soul, automatically your juniors will follow your path.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it's really inspiring. I cannot resist myself saying that you are brave.
I told you, no, there's nothing like brave. There's something like commitment. See, when it's commitment, if you see when your mother brought you up, I'm sure your father would have had his office commitments or travel or something. Didn't she bring you up alone with all the difficulties that she would have had. She didn't say, oh my God, today I had this problem. Suppose she was not well or something. You were her first priority, not herself. So it is as good as that. So that's what, if you take it as a commitment, everything will fall into place. You will never think that you're doing somebody a favor. You will think that you are doing because I never thought doing all that, I have done a favor to company, I have done a favor to, no. This favor I have done to myself because it was my learning curve. It gave me so much of satisfaction at the end of the day when the first product was cut. When all of them had a big meeting and all that, it was a great sense of satisfaction that it is as good as seeing a baby grow, do well in studies, and then it's that way.
Ah, that's so beautiful. Seeing your work as your child and taking that responsibility. Wow. It's a whole new perspective, actually. Oh, it's so beautiful. Actually, ma'am, I want you to talk about your special interest from the, it's been past half an hour already and you are just talking about your child. I want to talk to you about your special interest. Like, what are your special interests, like passion or something else?
Actually, the problem is when we did engineering, Badal, you're listening, Badal? When we did engineering was a different ballgame. We never had time for socialization. At least the boys were better, I think. Okay. The thing was, in our college, especially chemical engineering, we used to see slightly the other engineering branches were a little the same, but we couldn't be lax. Every month we had internals exactly at the date. Like today, 14th, 15th, 16th were internals. Next month, 14th, 15th, 16th are internals. That month also, the next month also was like that. Then the fourth month we used to have our exams. And then, so this internal would be over. They used to cover the portion for the next internal, slog for the next internal. Our life was only that. So where will I get special interest? The only thing is, yes, my mother used to say something. Do something apart from this because that will give you more energy when you do something. So that's how I started taking classes in German. So I've come up to my PG diploma. It was even that was hard because I used to come back from college, rush to German classes and come back. Because my mother would say, once you join a job or a higher studies, you will not have this much time. Here you don't have the responsibility of the house. I am doing that. So you do something which will, whether you learn, whether you play sports or you learn a language or you do something, but do something else apart from your regular studies. My father was in a traveling job. He used to travel about 25 days a month. So when he used to come, lot of pampering we would have and all that. So my mother had to be a strict parent. But she would more reason out, she would never say, don't do this, don't do that. She would say, if you do that, it is good for your future because tomorrow when you join your higher studies or a job, you will not have a single minute's time for yourself. Then you have to take care of yourself. Here I am taking care of you. So which went a long way, maybe in my attitude in certain things in life.
Yes, ma'am. Sean, sir, you have anything?
Yeah. Then I have done refinery project. Then as a HAZOP chairperson, I would have at least conducted some 200 HAZOP sessions. And then, Badal, you were there on the part of WARP project. WARP project, Western Onshore Redevelopment Project. No? WARP project. Were you a part of the WARP project? Western Onshore Redevelopment. All the 100 installations of Mehsana, Ahmedabad and Ankleshwar.
No, I was not. Which year was that?
This was in 2012-13, yeah.
No, 12-13 I was in Mumbai already.
Acha. Okay. Yeah. Then we got a very big job from ONGC. There were 100 installations in all of them, Mehsana, Ahmedabad and Ankleshwar asset. Where, see earlier same thing, they never used to have any plot plan, equipment layout and all that to take care of safety. So something the plant was constructed and all, then it came for a revamp. So that was called Western Onshore Redevelopment Project it was. So for the 100 installation, then we had to do risk analysis to see what are the things, modifications that have to be made. Because you can't say left, right and center that take off all this equipment, we'll give something new and all that. Because some of them are working, you have to take care of the cost also. So then So then the 100 installations HAZOP had to be done. I was the HAZOP chairperson for all the 100 installations. And then all the risk analysis also I have done for those 100 installations. I mean, apart from my refinery work and all those things. So their installations are always a challenge. The refinery, technically there's a lot of depth. Here there are a lot of challenges both in design, location, everything, because they're all installations are slightly remotely located. Like Uran is the biggest gas processing plant. So when they had a third train of all their gas processing units, I was heading the design this thing of that. And that is, you have to travel 3.5 to 4 hours from, it depends. In the morning, I used to be lucky within 2.5 hours I used to go. Evening, because of this thing, it used to take about 3.5, 4 hours to commute from Uran to this one. So spend like that every day I used to do. When I used to go for 1 week, I used to go finish discussions, go visit. And another thing, if any of you join either the refinery or consultancy or anything, your job will not end by sitting in the meeting room and concluding a meeting or continuing the meeting next day. You have to visit the plant. You have to see the facility. Only then your design or there is some learning curve which can be implemented. And because when you go to the plant, the operators talk to you, the operations head talks to you. So you are getting a better insight, so it is for your own learning. If they say, oh ma'am, it's okay, you don't even have to go to, no. I said, I want to go to site. I would like to see the site. Yeah.
Yes. Sajay
Now,
sir,
any questions?
Yes. Sajay sir has a question.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Morning, Aruna Garu.
Cheppandi.
I am Sajeev. I was Badal's classmate, so 82 class out.
Yeah, I'm not.
In fact, this group has people like Meena, Shrikant Joshi, Badal, Suhas, myself. So I think today they were busy.
Okay.
But we are quite active in terms of participating, talking to each other. Meena was quite active in this group as well as active in our get-togethers.
Okay.
Nice to hear you talk so much, and wonderful. First comment is you have a lot of energy left. Lot of energy left. Okay, so my compliments to that, and I can see that EIL blood is in you. So they've injected blood in you.
Very true.
So, I mean, whatever you speak, I think you're dragging us to EIL.
Nobody understands what a consultancy is, Sajeev.
I know.
Because it's not me. My job starts with process. Yes, I have to be very careful about my document delivery so that my other counterparts in other engineering disciplines will do a good job. If I make a mistake, the entire mistake will be cascaded down through.
Absolutely.
So the success of the commissioning is first your design, safety, then all they also have to do their job properly. So that is the way the standards and all are developed, It's a highly system-driven company. So,
nice.
I'm happy to reach the marketing of
So I worked in private sector for I think about 20 years.
Pardon?
I worked in a private sector for about 28 years. Then I started my own industry in Bangalore.
Okay.
So last 8 years, I'm running my industry in Bangalore.
Where do you stay in Bangalore?
I stay in Tumkur Road near Datrali.
Okay, because I'm in Bangalore, no? That's why I'm asking you.
Oh, now you're in Bangalore?
Yeah, I worked for SABIC for 4 years. Now from Tuesday onwards, I'm joining Saudi Aramco.
Really? Okay, so Rashid, do you know Rashid?
Rashid. Okay. He was the master ragger, Rashid. Huh?
No. He was our classmate and he worked for SABIC in Saudi Arabia for 28 years.
No, I was in Bangalore Research Center.
Okay. So he spent all his lifetime in SABIC in Jubail.
Or Riyadh.
Al Jubail. He's in Jubail for I think most of his career. I think he left about 2 years ago.
Okay. I'm not able to place. Maybe if I see him, I might remember. This is.
Yeah. So he was our classmate in BTech. Then he went down to do masters in environment in IIT Bombay. Then he took a job in, so that's the thing. So I have a couple of questions, Aruna Garu. So what's your current role, number one, and how many years left for you to serve, and what's your post-retirement plan? So
no, I
if
don't
you
have. No, Pradeep, first, no post-retirement plan because now Tuesday onwards I'm starting a career with Aramco.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your role going to be? Because to give you a background of my industry, we do a lot of work for oil and gas industry in Middle East. So we are we manufacture non-destructive testing products.
Okay, NDT.
Yeah, NDT for crack detection for all the oil and gas projects that go on in Middle East.
It's compulsory, for all the oil and
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have products are approved by Saudi Aramco, ADNOC, and Satweer, and all those petroleum majors.
Okay.
So that's why if you talk about oil and gas, I get goosebumps. So
Yeah, same with me. Actually, oil and gas is like worse than smoking and alcoholism. Okay? Sorry.
Intoxicating.
Very. Okay, it's as you just can't come out of it. Once you're in it, you're in it. That's all.
Where do you live, Aruna Garu, in Bangalore? Where do you live? Where do you live in Bangalore?
Kadapura Road, near to Art of Living. This place is called, I stay next to Turahalli Forest. This is called Shobha Forest View, this apartment.
I know. I also live in Shobha Apartments in Dasarali.
Which one is that? Shobha Moonlight? Huh?
No, this is Shobha A-Light, yeah, that's right.
That is next to Nagsandra
Yes.
Metro Station, right? Oh God.
Opposite to Nagsandra Metro Station. That's where I live.
Ex-colleagues lives in that apartment,
Yes, okay, very good. Very good to hear that.
Yeah.
But currently I'm in Hyderabad.
Pradeep, you are only a metro station away. If yours is the first,
I
mine
know.
is now they have extended it to Tata Silk. I mean, that Silk Institute.
Elachanahalli is the last stop.
No, now up to Silk Institute it's there. No, 3 stations
That's-
before that. If you get on
right.
Vajarhalli, our place is 1.5 kilometers from Vajarhalli metro station.
Now, for your information, we have Ganesh, Sri Ganesh.
I know Sri Ganesh. I talk to him almost.
Yeah.
I bug him every week. Okay.
So he lives in Bangalore.
I know.
And Subramanyam also spent his lifetime in oil and gas. He also lives in Bangalore.
Who's Subramanyam?
PV Subramanyam, who's worked for Total Gas in Singapore, Bombay, Vizag.
If I see him
he's-
saying, no, the problem
Yeah.
is, see, Ganesh and I used to interact with a lot during the projects and all that, when I was in EIL. In fact, for the R&D, green R&D,
Okay.
I did
Yeah.
the Hazop for the green R&D. That was
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Over to the buddies. Just
Yeah.
wanted to show my
Sorry,
face.
what happens, when you see same thing. Once I went to Ganesh's office for a meeting. Then we were sitting and chatting for half an hour. He told his juniors, "I'm so sorry, since we are from the same college, we got
I know.
carried away." So
Yeah.
this is another. Those days, the college had a different bond. The moment
That's
you see, you just feel it is like a family. Okay, I can't say that anything more than that. So now I don't know how the culture is. There those days the culture was very different. Like if you see me, Badal or Sadeep talking, it's like as if you are talking from our BTech days. Okay.
Okay, nice talking to you, Aruna Garu, and over to Shravan and the others.
I think Sadeep and Badal, no, I'll give you my number. Can you please in
Yeah.
the chat box, no? So
Oh,
please
yes.
save my number, and unfortunately, if you get into this thing with me, you will. So that's what I'm going to start my consultation as a consultant. I've been hired by Aramco. In fact, Aramco was not open to women earlier. The moment they opened to women, they themselves contacted me because we were doing a COTC project, that is crude oil to chemicals. So that is one of the reasons.
Okay, I would like to maybe talk further on this privately on exactly what your role is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already got it. Shravan is so fast. He is super fast. He is American.
No, I one thing I should appreciate, Shravan, no, he collects people from where all. I think it requires a lot of. He does his homework, okay? That is. And one more thing I wanted to share. I was heading the accident investigation committee. Badal, you were still working, no, with ONGC in 2014. Okay, first time in my life I have seen interior Andhra. That was the first time. Because how you won't believe, I never thought I would go to interior Andhra in that capacity. There was an accident in July 2014 in ONGC Rajahmundry Asset. Okay. So then I was heading the accident investigation committee. I had an opportunity to look at each and every installation in that area, the East and West Godavari regions of Andhra Pradesh. Then how accidents happened, that accident was a very serious accident. Then, so that is where in oil and gas industry, every minute, every second, you have to take care of safety.
Actually, for your information, I was, before retirement, I was heading the safety department of ONGC's offshore operations.
Okay, offshore. No, I didn't do I did all onshore safety, Badal. That is why you ran away from me. Now I caught you, see.
And the recent fire, last year, the fire which happened in the Hazira plant.
Yeah.
I was PNGRB investigation. I was there in the investigation team.
Okay, okay.
So although I had retired by then, but then PNGRB had put me in the Government of India commissioned investigation team in that. They had put me for that investigation.
Actually, same thing, no, because that was gas was supplied by ONGC to GAIL. So we had two investigation teams, so they were top secret. The GAIL team was not supposed to, so we had to have two different teams because they wanted independent observations. So the GAIL team, I mean within EIL only, the GAIL team and the ONGC team in EIL were not supposed to talk to each other, look at each other's face. Okay, that look at each other's face is in the lighter way.
Yeah, if there is a major accident, there will be 4 or 5 teams working on the investigation simultaneously.
You have to come up with independent observations.
Yeah, because otherwise you tend to get influenced.
Exactly. And ONGC wanted me in their team, because the number of projects I did for ONGC. So they said we want her in this thing. So from ONGC side, I was taking care. From GAIL, another colleague was taking care. Then the independent observation, even I was not supposed to discuss with him on my observation. He was not supposed to discuss with me on his observation. Simple as if it's an accident, no, the angle you will look at it. So they wanted something very free, non-influential, as he said, or not getting banned by each other. No, this is not this is not that. No. We had to come up with a different set of reports for him, for me, integrated, then came up with a solution. So this is how accidents are investigated, if they're done properly, if the investigation is proper.
Thank you, ma'am. Apurva?
Thank you, ma'am. You just brought that energy out of us this morning. How do you persistently maintain that energy from from many years? Have you never felt like giving up, or how did you do that?
No.
What was the motivation?
Definitely your smile would have added much more energy to the team. All the teams we have worked with.
It's like this. I think I can say maybe with age it a little, okay, now I'm 59 years and 6 months old, okay. So next 6 months I won't see my 50s again. So what I feel is if you like something, what you're doing, your energy levels, that's why I tell you, start liking what. Sometimes I told some of the projects that you get, maybe everybody would have discarded. Then you'll come home, okay, in front of your boss, you can't say anything, you will smile. Then at home you'll come, why he didn't want, why should I do it? Maybe he found some potential in you where you can take that challenge to the end. So if you start liking your job or anything you do, it's like cooking. Suppose you don't like cooking, no, you put a face and do, nothing will come out well. Anything, any small thing. I'm just giving you an example. So when you enjoy whatever you're doing, your energy levels, it is just the body mechanism. I don't know, somehow it works, that adrenaline gets pumped into your system.
How did you, Sean?
Yeah.
First of all, thank you, Aruna Garu, for coming on to this call. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see your smiling face.
You can hear me. So, thank you for coming onto the call, and I can see the the conversations with Badal Garu and Sajeev Garu. So I'm glad that these young people were able to get all of you together. So one of the, you were saying how when you were in college, how there were exams and you were busy. So this particular generation has an advantage which we didn't have, which is YouTube and Google and Zoom calls and everything. So they can learn faster because they have videos. And so they can actually do things, I don't know. I remember myself to understand one concept. Sometimes it used to take me days and weeks because we had only one textbook. And that is the only textbook which we could use, so I had to remember. But here, these people can go into YouTube and look at different perspectives from different people. So that is a very big advantage they have. And also they have a disadvantage also. It's a global competition now for them. It's no longer a, local competition like we had. So, just wanted to make that comment.
Yeah. That's true. For them, information is available where we had to search for books. Sometimes if you browse through 10 books, you might get a small bit of information. Here, it's not like that. One Google word search, then you have lots. Okay, in this, then you can cut, paste and all. We had to literally, even when I joined my master's and up to research, photocopying in institute, if you gave today after 2-3 days, then even this one, like programming, first time in our college we didn't have. So then institute when we joined, we had those deck cards reading. So suppose something went wrong till your program output reached you. Like today I gave the cards for reading, tomorrow or day after I would get the printout. Then I had to check where all to check, what all, then by the time you debug the program and write, so much of time, you people have time on your advantage, which we had something, for us it was a luxury kind of this thing. So anybody wants to ask any questions? I have spoken too much here. Abhi, aap log, tell me please what you want to do.
We are just getting energized after listening to you. Like, how can a girl, you are just amazing.
No, I'm not amazing. I told you, I enjoy whatever I do, that's all.
Yes. Triveni, you have a question.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, how did you manage your family, amongst this busy schedule?
Very expected this question is, for most girls, when they ask me, this is one thing. See, a lot of people say, work-life balance and all these things, I am not so much of all these. These are all jargons which people from, which people from abroad, outside and all that. These are all jargons, work-life balance. You should give me time, this thing and all. Once you join a consultancy, forget about your me time. If you have, go and drink a glass of water. That would be one big luxury for you, okay? But enjoy that. So keep a bottle of water with you. That's why, okay. Jokes apart. See, initial stages for a woman, yes, you require a lot of support, Okay, you people are luckier than we are because you have good childcare centers and even the offices, a lot of offices, now they have a rule that if there are more than 50 women, they have to have a creche in the office and all those things. But we never had that. For me, I had to depend a lot on parental system. Like my parents supported me a lot because I was married when I was doing my BTech and my daughter was born when I was doing my MTech. So my MTech, PhD, everything after marriage, childbirth, to this day my husband said, see, you were not even a graduate when I married and you became a PhD. Okay, that's a different. Okay. So then I had a lot of parental support. And then even after I started working and all that, I had, and of course my husband was always supportive, tacitly, because he also, his job was involved a lot of traveling. But initially what used to happen, when my daughter was very young, I used to work in the lab and all that. When I was doing my research, what he used to do, luckily he was in a production unit at that time, before he shifted to marketing. So he requested his company to put him in the first shift. They were too happy because not too many people, because he used to go at 4:30 in the morning, come back at 4:30 in the evening. And I used to drop my daughter till 3 years. I left my child with my parents. Then I brought her. I used to drop her in school, go to lab. And then he used to come back at 4:30. We put her in a school which works till 4:30. That was the thing, when we put a 3-month-old child in a school which worked full time, it really, but we thought it was better than a caretaker, because those days there were no, you have IT now, you can put one CC camera in your house, and in the office you can look into what the caretaker is doing and all that. We didn't have that kind of luxury, So 4:30, my husband used to come and pick her up. He used to take care of her. I used to go back, finish cooking, feed these two, come back to lab, work till late in the night. Then same thing, my husband used to take care of her sleeping, and then later her homework. So we have to manage, when, the spouse should be very, very cooperative. Badal and Sajeev are going to kill me for this statement. Baad mein, jo gaali dena hai, I'll give you all the time. Okay.
Wow, ma'am.
Then you have to make the child also independent. Then by the time, after some time, that luxury was lost, because marketing was opening. His field, marketing support is very good. So my husband took up that challenge. So we used to give the key to my daughter to ensure how to be careful in the house, make everything for her. So the only once I feel, sometimes I feel bad because of my career growth. She had to spend, like in a place like Delhi, she had to come back alone and stay. So we used to tell her, don't open the door to anybody. Then luckily we had good neighbors, so whom we could request them to monitor her. Like when she comes from school, you don't know, no? Sometimes, suppose some stranger enters and all that, no? Say they also used to call her up once in an hour to check, bete, kaise ho, are you all right? If you want any help, you call us. So I had because sometimes you don't know, no? See, the apartments are so cut off. If somebody enters without their knowledge or something, she'll be totally alone. So I have to thank everybody, friends, family, neighbors, whoever had me. It's not just one person it's not just one person, it's like I should be grateful to each and every person who have helped me directly or indirectly and all that. I should not say, oh, I did this. I know I couldn't have done anything without the support of all those people.